Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is dedicated to Forex traders, and the topic of today's video is installing and configuring the EAX dashboard, otherwise known as DB Multi ASM dashboard, available for free on forexfactory.com forum. A couple of words about this expert advisor, or EA for short. This EA is a strategy constructor, which means that it allows you, the trader, to create your own trading strategies, to automate your own trading strategies using its inbuilt tools as well as plugins. As you can see over here in this area, we have a room for 3 plugins that you can use to create your own strategy or to help your own strategy. But we will cover that later. Right now, let's point our browser to the forexfactory.com/showthread.php *t equals 568595, which is the URL for it. And let's download the latest version of this EA. As you can see, it has gone through a number of updates, and the latest version is this one, x006d1.deploy. .deploy means that this package can be used as an installation, versus here you can see that there are a bunch of updates. 006d.update, 006b.update. These are all update files and cannot be used as a standalone installation of the EA. So all we gotta do is save the EA. Let's do that. Save as, and I already have it. But let's, for the heck of it, let's do it one more time. Okay, it is almost saved. Let's actually go there and check to see whether it's there. Okay, so it is there. And now what we have to do is unzip it and then install it. As you can see here, it's already unzipped. So please do that on your own computer, and then we will continue. The first thing we are going to do is navigate to the unzipped installation folder on the VPS or a PC which is going to be running this EA. As you can see, the EA installation consists of 2 folders, MT4 data folder and the second folder, OS TrueType fonts. Let's open that folder. Inside, we'll find the fonts folder. To run this EA, we need these fonts for proper display. To use these fonts, we need to copy them to the Windows Fonts collection. The easiest way to access the Windows Fonts collection is to call up the Run dialog box. On any Windows computer, please press the Window key and the R key at the same time. This invokes the Run dialog box. In the box, let's type in FONTS and press Enter. This brings up the Windows Fonts collection. What we'll do is copy the EA fonts into Windows Fonts. Let's go back to the EA OS TrueType Fonts directory and select all of the fonts in here. We do that by pressing Ctrl-A at the same time, and then pressing Ctrl-C. We're going to copy them, or if you do not feel comfortable doing that, you can always right-click and select Copy from the context menu. Now let's go to the Windows Fonts, and here right-click and select Paste. Now that we have all the fonts required to run the EA, let's close the Windows Fonts section and open up the MT4 we're going to use to run this EA. The first thing we do within the MT4 platform is copy all of the files associated with our EA and EA itself into their respective locations. To do that, click File, open Data folder. Within the Data folder, you can see that there's an MQL4 folder as well as the Templates folder. These are the two folders that we will need to copy from the EA installation folder. Okay, so let's go back to the root folder of the EA installation files and expand the MT4 data folder. Within this folder, you can see the MQL4 as well as templates. Let's select these two and copy them. First, copy, and go back to the MT4 resources folder, and here right click and select paste. Okay, once the system is done copying all the files, let's close all the Windows Explorer windows. Then let's set up the MT4 to actually run the EA. Go to Tools, Options, select the Expert Advisors tab. Here, click the Allow Automated Trading and Allow DLL imports. Deselect Disable Automated Trading when the account has been changed, and Disable Automated Trading when the profile has been changed. Click the OK, and the MT4 is ready to run any EA, as you can see, because the Auto Trading button is automatically depressed. Now we need to select the 28 pairs the EA is going to be analyzing and running. To do that, right-click anywhere within the MarketWatch window and select Symbols. You see a bunch of tree views that can be expanded by clicking the plus sign. In each particular broker, this is going to look different. What we're concerned with is basically the yellow symbols representing currencies that must be yellow. In this case, Euro USD, GBP USD are selected. These are currencies we need. USD CHF, good. USD JPY, Euro CHF, Euro GBP, Euro JPY, GBP CHF, GBP JPY, AUD USD, NZD USD, USD CAD. Gold, we will temporarily disable. To do that, we'll just double click the yellow symbol and it becomes gray. Silver, or rather this was silver and this is gold. Okay, silver, gold we also disable for now. FX group number 1, Euro AUD, Euro CAD, GBP AUD, GBP CAD. Those are good currencies. AUD CHF, AUD JPY, CAD CHF, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, NZD CHF, NZD JPY. Good. FX group number 3, AUD CAD, AUD NZD, Euro NZD, GBP NZD, NZD CAD. Okay, good. These are all currencies we need. Commodities are disabled. Good. Energies, we do not need any of the oil. Disable that. Now indices, we will not need those, so let's just disable them. Disable these. And Bitcoin is disabled. Alright, so now that we have set our preliminary currencies, let's click close and let's count them out within the market watch window. I am going to use the down arrow key to count. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so we've got all the currencies we need in order to run this EA. Before we can actually load the EA, there's one more step we need to take. And that is, we need to run the force load historical data script. What it does is it will load the data for approximately 2 or 3 months, depending on the currency pair, so that the EA could analyze the pair, the price movement of the pair, and make predictions for future trades. To run this script, we need a chart to be opened within the MT4. Let's open any chart. For example, AUD CAD, we can just drag and drop it onto the chart, and it opened a chart. Let's maximize it just for convenience. And now, in order for us to see the progress of this script, we need to click the Experts tab, and that way we are going to see its progress. Now, this procedure will take a long time, anywhere from 15 minutes to maybe half an hour. So once we load it, for the duration of this procedure, I'm going to turn off the recording, but I will come back when the force load historical data is done running. But first, let's start running this script. To do so, left click and then drag and drop it onto the chart. And we see script force load historical data loaded successfully. That is the message that we need to see within the Experts tab. What we are waiting for is the first indication of this script loading some currency. Okay, so we see that it has loaded AUD CAD, the history. It has loaded the history for AUD CAD. And so it will repeat itself 28 times for each currency that is in our market watch window. When it's done, we'll come back and check the progress. Hey, we're back to check on the progress of the force load historical data script. And as you can see, the script has successfully run with no errors whatsoever. Now, sometimes you might get errors having to do with certain pairs not loading correctly, or certain time frames are unable to load. In such case, close the current currency pair, which is currently loaded in your window, and choose another currency pair. Well, in this case, we can choose any. Let's choose AUD, JPY, or Euro NZD, doesn't matter. And once we've done that, we go through the same procedure. Drag force load historical data script onto the chart, and it's going to run again, and chances are the second time it runs, it will not have any errors. Why it causes errors sometimes. The first time it runs, I do not know. And the second time it doesn't give you errors, or the second or the third time, sometimes you need to run it 2 or 3 times for it to load all the remaining time frames. But basically that is all for loading the historical data. Right now the MT4 is ready to run our EA. The only other thing which is recommended to do is enable the currency pair or the commodity pair which is not being traded by the EA by default, and place the dashboard EA on that chart. How we do that? We basically, once again, go to the Market Watch window, right click it, and choose symbols from the context menu. Within the context menu we have gold and silver disabled. We have disabled it initially so that force load historical data does not load any of the gold and silver data, so that we have less data to read by the EA. So right now, since we don't have any history, we can enable both the silver and the gold. And then once we've done that, we press the close button. And here are the silver and gold, which are not traded by the EA. First we open the chart which is going to run the EA. Let's do it on the gold chart. So it's sell USD, gold cross with American dollar. Okay. As far as the time frame is concerned, it's up to you. This runs on any time frame. It can run on M1 or it can run on a monthly time frame. It really doesn't depend that much on the time frame. We can leave it on a default time frame for this broker, which is M15. So let's maximize it. And now what we do is we select the template for the EA. In this case, we choose the empty one. Empty one is the template which is going to create a blank screen for us. Blank, black screen. And then what we do is we go to the EA itself and the listing of other MT4 EAs. In this case it's DB Multi ASM, and we drag and drop it onto the chart and see what happens. Alright, no errors there. We've got allow live trading, enable alerts, allow DLL imports, allow import of external experts. We have the inputs tab available to us, and we can click OK to see whether the EA will load. Let's do that. And as you can see, the EA has successfully loaded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great time to study this EA's controls and filters. You can hover your mouse over each control to get an idea of what each control represents, what it stands for. As you can see, there's a tooltip for each and every filter, and it's also clickable, so if you click it, it turns yellow, and it also gives you signals. When the signal is active, the currencies light up. And the only other thing left to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to tailor or customize this EA to your own individual trading style. I cannot recommend any strategy because each strategy is purely individual, and what is good for me may not be good for you. But nevertheless, as an example, we will use one of the forexfactory.com forum strategies posted by a user, James T., which utilizes the plugin which came with this EA, and this plugin is called Mad Dash. Mad Dash stands for Moving Average Distance Dashboard. What it is a multi-time frame, multi-currency derived moving average application. You can find more information about the Mad Dash on the Forex Factory forum. To proceed with our setup, we first need to copy the source set files into the MT4 presets directory specific to our MT4 installation. Go to File, open Data folder, and then navigate to the presets folder. Then what we need is to copy the source presets into the MT4 presets. In this case, I have already copied mine, but all you need to do is to copy these three files: mad-2pins.set, mad-pin1.set, and mad-pin2.set. Well, to save some time, since these are already here, we will just set up remaining charts. We need 2 charts for each Mad Dash plugin. To set up charts, open another 2 windows. In our case, it's going to be 2 silver windows, but you're welcome to use gold or any other currency if your broker has any currency which this dashboard does not trade, like for example USD TRY, US dollar versus Turkish lira. That is fine too. So in my case, I'm going to open silver, right click, select chart window, and another time another chart window. Okay, so now on both of these silver charts, we select this particular template, Mad-130 plus pin version 2, which came originally with the EA. Okay. And the same is on this chart. Okay, let's go back to the first one, and now we need to load the presets for each of these Mad Dash charts. To do so, let's make sure that the first chart containing the Mad Dash is selected. And I mean the first chart containing Mad Dash, not the chart which contains our EA. So in this case, this will be the second chart, the middle chart. Press the Ctrl-I key combination on your keyboard, and that will bring the indicators window. Within the indicators window, let's select the first item, Mad-130, and then click Edit. Here, let's make sure that the Inputs tab is selected, and then we go down on this form and press the Load button. That brings the file selection box, from which all we have to do is to navigate to our plugin sets and choose Mad-Pin 1. Remember that we are setting up pin 1. And we click Open, after which we click OK on the main form. And of course, our Mad Dash changes. Now we need to modify DB Multi ASM Mad Dash Pin plugin, which is the adapter for the dashboard itself, for the EA itself. So click Edit, and for the pin ID, triple click and select pin 1. Then click OK. Click Close. And the first plugin, pin 1, is ready. Now we have to do the same thing for the second plugin, which will be the exact same procedure. Press Ctrl I, set up the mat dash first, click Edit, click Load, navigate to the preset, select the pin 2 preset, click Open, click OK, and now edit the second adapter plugin. Select it, click Edit. For the pin ID, triple click on the right and select pin 2. Click OK. Click Close. And at this point, the second plugin is set up. The very last step is to load the preset onto the EA itself. To do that, click the first chart containing the EA, then press the F7 key on the keyboard, click Load, and navigate to the presets. In this case, we want to choose this one, mat 2 pins. Once you have selected it, click Open, then click OK. And as you can see, we have a totally different, totally new setup on the dashboard. At this point, the EA is almost ready for trading. One last thing you might check is the session time. To check the session time, press the F7 key on your keyboard to display the expert properties, and then scroll down until you find the Session Management Time section. In this section, it is very important to pay attention to the start time and end time of session 1, 2, 3, and 4. These values of start time and end time of session actually refer to the local time of your PC or a VPS. For example, if the London session, according to the GMT, starts at 0800 hours, and your computer at that time, in the beginning of the London session, is 0900, then for the start of session 1, you would put in 090000. Likewise, for the end of session 1. If you want to stop trading at GMT 4 or 16 hours, when the London session ends, you would put in 170000. 1700:00. And likewise for the session 2. For the New York session, if it starts at 1300 GMT and your computer or VPS time is 14, then you would input 140000. And that way, the EA will know exactly when to start and when to end trading sessions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, this is all. Thank you very much for watching. and take care.